Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another solo episode. This one is quite special because this episode, I'm going to invite you to a special offering that I'm doing, and it's 100% completely free. So keep listening. I'm going to share what it's all about over the next 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm really excited. So, this is for men, this is for women, this is for all of us to come together for a workshop called the Passionate Partnership. Okay. So here's where I'm coming from, y'all. There's a lot of single folks out there, right? There's a lot of folks also getting divorced. There's a lot of folks in marriages that are quite dull and unsatisfying. So they look to get their needs filled in other places. This causes so much pain for everyone involved. Okay. This hurts me so much because it doesn't have to be like that. Okay. It really doesn't have to be like that. Um, I have this deep calling to help men and women find satisfying and fulfilling relationships. This is all coming from where myself as a child, I grew up in a lot of just seeing so much dysfunction all around me, anger, resentment, anxiety, just abuse, people yelling, people not feeling satisfied, and then calling it love, right? And so many of us have some sort of experience like that. So, what I'd do is I'd kind of retreat up to my room, only child here as well, and I'd kind of get lost in these French movies or Italian movies from the 40s and 50s. And they were kind of like fairy tales, modern day fairy tales. And I'd imagine that, okay, there's fairy tale love and then there's real relationship, which is not the same. And it took me a long time to really understand that the big takeaway here is that either one of those is not the only option, right? It's not about big fairy tale romances, and it's also not about just dull relationships that are meaningless. There's something else, right? There's this opportunity to find deep and meaningful companionship and partnership with another human that continues to grow and continues to help you feel more alive and more you, the more you continue to open up and be vulnerable and understand each other. And most importantly, the more you learn to respect the other person, right? The more you learn to be coming from spirit and soul as opposed to survival, right? Keeping my needs met, um, protecting myself from getting hurt, right? It's such a catch 22. We do all these things to protect ourselves, and the things that we're doing to protect ourselves end up being the things that get us hurt, right? And so I want to debunk all of that. I want to get into the evolutionary psychology and biology behind why we do what we do as men and women, right? So one thing that's become very clear for me is, that phrase, just walk a mile in their shoes, and then you'll know what's going on with them. Then you can find some empathy. We say this, but we don't do it. We do not know how to do this for the opposite sex. Specifically, we don't know how to do this well for someone that we want to be our partner. So this is exciting because I'm about to let y'all into so many tools and tips and ways of looking at the opposite sex that are going to unlock so many ahas for you, right? So listen up, y'all. So this is for women. This is for men. Thinking about, who wants to be in this workshop, who wants to be there. Really, it's this idea of, women that are just regular women out there, right? You're smart and you're fit. You have hobbies and interests you love. You've got great friends. You've got a thriving social life, right? Maybe you're on the apps. You do a lot of great things, but you do find yourself saying things like, oh, where is he? Where are all the good men at? Why don't I meet anyone I like? And specifically, when I meet someone I like, why does it always turn into some sort of situationship where it doesn't go anywhere, right? It's like you have all the things except for that strong masculine man that will really lead you, by your side. That kind of like, oh, when you close your eyes, you can actually really feel that strong, safe presence of a man who's got your back, right? That's what you're looking for. And gentlemen, This is for you. If you're smart, you're ambitious, right? You're driven, you've achieved some success in life. You train hard, you work hard, you do all the things, but you just feel like something's missing. There's an emptiness. You're on the apps, but that's not successful. It's hard to find success there. You're still a work in progress, as we all are, but you really just want to meet that like partner in crime, right? That ride or die, the woman that is going to believe you, believe in you, support you, respect you, right? She'll look up at you and admire you. Does that feel like something you would like? And does that feel like something that's quite impossible right now? Oh, I've had so many men tell me that they can't even imagine something like that, but it's their deepest, deepest desire, a woman that really admires me and respects me and wants to support me. That is something I hear from men over and over again. So if one of those two sounds like you're going to want to be in this workshop, okay? And also committed men and women. Is there, an argument you keep having over and over again? Or is there something that frustrates you about your relationship, right? Join the workshop. You'll find some insights. You'll find something that you can utilize right away. So here's the crux of it, right? Like, what are you going to learn? What's it going to be like? What's the foundation of this workshop? Here it is, okay? Men just don't understand the survival mechanisms of women, and women just don't understand the survival mechanisms of men. So we get stuck pushing each other away because we don't understand each other's motivations, each other's priorities, each other's behaviors on a day-to-day, like on a regular basis. And so we push each other further and further apart. We don't ever come to an understanding. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be diving deep into the idea of this Venn diagram, which essentially illustrates human animal and human spirit. Human animal is our survival mechanisms. Human spirit is our thriving mechanisms, essentially. Most of the time, we are operating in our human animal, right? That's our ego, it's our scarcity complexes. Oh my gosh, I have to make sure that I look like this or I'm like this, otherwise my person won't like me. Whereas the soul, the spirit knows that like my person should probably like me for who I am. So I shouldn't be having to create a strategy around who I am so that they like me, right? It's kind of silly. So I'm going to be really getting into this idea of how to understand the human animal of the opposite sex while awakening the human spirit. Because foundationally, y'all, we are souls. I know everyone says like, oh, you are a person, you are a body, and you have a soul, right? Like I am Anya and I have a soul, Anya's soul. That's not it. That's not it at all. It's my soul is Anya. I am the soul Anya, and I have a body. So the moment we start to switch our thinking, then we can start to understand that it's my soul that wants to be seen deeply, deeply, deeply and meaningfully in love. It's my soul that wants to be understood and respected and admired and loved and just seen for who I am. But it's my body that tries to keep me stuck. It's my body that wants to protect itself. It's my body that wants to be isolated. It's my body that is storing all of this childhood trauma and things that happened when I was a kid and things that I think about love and perceptions I have about others and the world and myself, all that's stuck in my body. But my soul so deeply wants to be seen by the other person, by the opposite sex. We're talking about our heteronormative relationships. And so that won't ever happen until you understand what are these mechanisms, these survival mechanisms that we're playing over and over again, right? And how different they are for men and women. Because men and women, our souls, identical, identical. All about thriving, abundance, connection, love, understanding each other, curiosity. That's our soul talking. But when it comes to our bodies, survival instincts, if you think about old reptilian survival instincts, right? Like hunter-gatherer, beginning of civilization instincts, it's make baby, populate, find mate, make baby, survive, right? So our bodies have developed ways in which we do this over time that men and women in the modern day, they're just not privy to what these things are. And so based on that foundation of let's understand human animal, let's understand human spirit, let's realize every single one of us operates this way. And then we can understand that within human animal, there are different motivations that men have, different priorities that men have, different behaviors that men have. They're all there for an extremely good reason. They have evolved over thousands of years. Same thing for women. Women have their own set of priorities, their own set of motivations, their own set of behaviors that have evolved for very specific reasons, right? And so now here we are, no longer living in caves and hunter-gatherer tribal experiences. We are in this modern world, yet our reptilian brains are still operating. We don't understand why and how because we don't see the instant gratification of that. So the idea is men have been thinking about women as if they're men, and women have been thinking about men as if they're women. And we got to stop all that. And so what you will find in this workshop, I'm so excited about this. So you'll come on in, sign up, free workshop. I want to get you all together, men and women, extremely safe space, extremely confidential, the group that is there. And we're going to get into it. It's going to be an interactive workshop where you'll get to understand this foundation. You'll get to understand those key motivations, priorities, and behaviors that you might be missing. And these will be some of those insights that you'll be able to say, okay, wow, that has been my pattern with women. I see. Okay, that's what's going on. And same thing for women. Oh man, I have thought that this thing that these men were doing was just so stupid. And come to find out, it's not stupid at all. I just wasn't willing to walk in their shoes. So that's what this workshop is going to be about, an opportunity to walk into in the shoes of the opposite sex, such that you'll be able to find some gold and some insight for you in your relationships right away in the moment. So what I will do is I will put everything, I'll put the link to sign up in the show notes down below. And I'll be so excited to see y'all there. Any questions you have, and then yes, the end of the workshop, we will do some Q&A. So come with your questions. I cannot wait to answer them, backed by some evolutionary psych and all my experience coaching men and women over the past few years. So can't wait to see y'all, and link below. All right, catch y'all in the next one.